Hi everyone, how you guys doing? You like my little thingy there? I gotta shut this off. I don't know how. There. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, that's a big shock. How you guys doing? I'm glad you could join me today. I am doing another live. I guess this is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm just going to do lives because I like it a lot. And I think you guys like it better than me doing videos. So until I figure out what's best for us, I'm just going to do this, okay? So I just want to know how you guys are doing. Out here in Pennsylvania, it's dreary and it's a little chilly. Yeah, I heard Massachusetts nice and warm and sunny, pretty girl. Not here where I live, but that's okay. We had a beautiful weekend, so I'm glad for that. I hope you guys saw my pictures with me and my mom. We're going back. That's what we're doing this summer, okay? Oh, I gotta tell you guys before we get started and stuff. So apparently, I decided to take my nasal inhaler a couple of times, back to back. So I took 4 nasal sprays at once and broke out on my face. I am not a happy camper. Okay, it took 3 days for that crap to get off my face, so now I could take my medicine. But now my voice is hoarse again. I can't win. But anyway. So today I'm pretty much leaving the door open to ask questions for me to answer, not for anybody to start a separate conversation somewhere. That's not what we're doing here, okay? I'm doing this so that you guys can ask me questions and then I can answer them for you. So if you have questions, please just bring them all to the table and let's talk about what's going on. I don't know if she's coming today, but I did find that email that Nina Marchese from Massachusetts. She's the head of the special ed private school department. Yeah, she sent me an email, and I told one of the viewers last week that I would find the email, and I literally just found it. So I can't wait to tell her that. But anyway, there's something new going on in Massachusetts. I don't know if you guys know about it, but they have changed the IEP form. So it's going to look a little different, but I'm having fun writing up IEPs. So I'm good. I want to learn all about it. So that'll get us started for the next year. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Wendy. I'm glad you guys could join me. I hope more people come. But today we're just going to talk about, what's been going on with you guys. Do you have any questions? Do you want me to show you where some laws are? I mean, what do you guys want? Whatever you need, I'm hoping I can help you out. Barbara, did you get in touch with Social Security like I told you? How do you file a state complaint? Gee, Wendy, honey, girl, I got about 18 videos on that. One is a cartoon. Okay, wait a minute. Let me show you. How do you file a complaint? What do you mean, how do you file a state complaint? All right, so let's go looking. Where's my stuff? All right. Wait a minute, okay? Let me show you. Okay. Videos. No, I don't want that. Okay, I'm just on my other place. And so, why is that there? I don't want that there. Oh, that's private. Okay, so, playlist. Where's my playlist? I don't understand. Videos. Okay, so. Oh, good. You contacted Social Security? Oh, yeah, you told me they're calling you back. Okay. Present. Share screen. Share screen. I want to do this. Share. And I want to do this. Okay, darling. So put it over here so I can work it and move it around. Okay, so here's all of my trainings, honey. Okay, they're right here. See, there's all the evaluations. Wait a minute. I'll find you one right now. Where's all of my things? This is irritating me. Videos, popular. Okay, there. Here's one right here, honey. See this girl? Special education steps to filing a complaint. Okay, that's the one I want you to go look at. Well, here it is right here. Look, watch.
For just $67, you can make as many videos as
we're
you
gonna
want.
skip this
and
in a
you
minute.
never need to pick up a camera or use any.
Okay. So we go over here.
The idea of having one stream of income just didn't sit well with me.
Okay. Okay, so see it? You see it? Okay, do you want me to give you the site? Yeah. Here is, okay, that's to that one, but I got more. Okay, there's lots more in here. There's different ones. So there's that one, and let me see. Team meeting, transitioning, steps to filing a complaint. How to file a complaint. Here's another one. This is an older one. Okay. You see it? One of the ones where you have, this is where I'm telling you how to cite an allegation. Okay. I didn't even see these. So this tells you how to do it too. Okay, but this is me doing a live. All right. So you can check it out. We're going to start this right now. So go to my special ed live training, and that will help you to start filing it. But that first one, that cartoon one, that one's like perfect. It tells you everything you need to know. Okay. Yes. Call me tomorrow. No, I don't want you to call me tomorrow about that issue. What I want you to do is get them on the phone. I don't want to have a conversation because I need to know exactly what's going on. I don't need your rendition. I want to ask them questions while we're on the phone together. I want them to tell me, okay? Because the last time we did this, we found out everything was different than what you thought. So I want to be on the phone with them. I don't want to talk to you about it. I want to talk to them because I got my own plans about what I'm going to do, okay? And that's another thing. Hi, Crystal. How you doing, girl? Glad you can join us. So today, what we should talk about is how to file a complaint. Why do you want to file a complaint? When you file a complaint, do you guys understand how that whole thing works? You're filing a complaint because they did something to your kid. So the one thing that you file a complaint about is they didn't evaluate your kid. That's one. They didn't evaluate your kid in all areas of suspected disability. So if you say you wanted your kid evaluated in a specific area and then the school district didn't do it, that's a violation because you have documentation or this is what you requested. The district doesn't get to decide, what areas to evaluate in. You put it in writing to the school district, okay? You say, I am requesting that my child be evaluated in all areas of suspected disability, okay? So now I'm going to take you to my website, okay? I'm going to show you where to get the letters that you need so you can download them. Okay, so special ed documents. Okay, share screen, and we do that, Okay, so here's my website. Okay, I'm going to move it over here. I can move it around. Okay, here's my website. Okay, on my website, I have, if you want to ask for your kids' records, the first thing you do is you ask the school district for your kids' records. If you are low income or if your kid receives free or reduced lunch, you can get the records for free. Okay, they can't charge you because it's the only way that you can make an educated decision about what your kid may need going through school. So you can ask for all of it. Now, all you have to do is click on here. Okay, you click on it. And then it'll ask me for a thing. You send me a request. And for some strange reason, it does that. I don't know. I have to fix it again because it's stupid. But anyway, you click on these and then you contact me and I will help you get it. But this right here, okay, for instance, What is this going to do? Okay, this one's going to, I know what I did wrong on the other one. I'll fix it. Okay, so when you're requesting an evaluation, I have a form, okay, and you can just download it, just like I just did. Okay, you go over here, you click on the file, and then you copy link. What is this? There's something up here that says download. Let me see. Print this file. Download this file. See where? Oh, hate that. You can't see what I'm doing because I'm dumb. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Stop share. So you guys didn't see anything that I just did because I like to do that to you. Okay. When I clicked on the link, this is what I got. Okay. This is my form on my website. All right. So what you do is you just click on the form, you download it here. You click on, you click on these three little dots right here, and it says download this file. Download it to your computer. Okay. Now, this is a fill-in form. So for instance, what I did with this is I'm going to try to make it bigger. Where is it? Okay, there. I'm going to do that. Okay. What I did with this form is the school districts don't like us telling them what evaluations we want done. So what I did is I just took a whole bunch of things that I found online that describes the type of areas that I want the kid to be evaluated in. For instance, a functional behavioral assessment says the goal of the functional behavioral assessment is to understand the relationship. So I let them know what we know about what an FBA is. Okay. This is a good form for you guys to just have. So when you go to team meetings and you have the evaluations, you can just go through this and say, but where's this and where's this and where's this? The objectives of the FBA, okay, so this is what you tell them. When you send them this form, this is what you're telling them. To determine a clear and distinct description of challenging behaviors. So all of these things is what you want the evaluation to show you. Okay, that's the purpose of the evaluation. So you just told them these are the areas. This letter that I have on my website are the areas, okay, that you want evaluated. Okay, so you just, and then you tell them about this, the behavior intervention plan. It gives a description of that, how you want it. Then you say it's an AAC assessment, which is augmentative and communication. This is for communication devices like the PEC system or what do you call them things? There's a word for them, but like a computer to help them communicate their wants and their needs. So we explain that. The Vineland is assessment. This is what it says. This is in my letter. Okay. So this is what you guys can do. Okay. I'm just starting the ball rolling. So you guys just jump in anytime you want. I know I really didn't give a whole lot of people a whole lot of time to figure it out that I was doing this. So, you know, that's just the way I roll. I'm going to try to do this every single Thursday night at 8:00. I'm going to set it up. I'm going to try to do it so everybody has information that it's going to happen on Thursday night so that you guys can join us and we can have a discussion about what's going on. Okay. So, one of the things that I've been dealing with as an advocate is what parents think my duty and role is to help them with their kid. First and foremost, unless you sign a contract, which you don't sign a contract with me because I do exactly what I want when I want. Because I have other clients besides you, for instance. So that means I'm a one-woman show. I got 15 balls all up in the air, okay? And I got my mom that I take care of. So I got a lot of shit on my plate. So I expect a lot of understanding. I mean, a lot. I expect a wide runway for me, okay? But when I do my job, I do all of my job. Now, when people just assume that I'm obligated to them, I get a little peeved because I'm not your guardian, the parent's guardian. I'm not court ordered to do anything for you. And even I would never put myself in a situation where I would have to do that. And I have on occasion chewed a parent or two out because they got in my way. My sole purpose is to help your kid. You're just the person that hired me to do it. That's how I look at you. I need you to give me the information. I need you to tell me what the problem is. But I don't need you to tell me how to do my job. Ever, 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 ever. The day I need a parent to tell me how to do my job, that means you've learned a lot and it's time for me to move on. Handle your business. I won't be mad at you. I'm happy for you. But I take exception to parents, and it's like 1%. I do take exception to parents who think that my whole life is this. It is to some degree, but I am. I'm 64 years old. I don't have time for this anymore. Not the way that I used to, not, all in that way. I'm looking for different ways to be an advocate. And one of my ways is to provide free consultation to you guys live every week. So if you come to this platform and you ask me a question, I will do my very best to give you all of the information that you need so that you can do the work for yourself. Because I want you people to understand something. We are living in a DIY era, okay? Don't tell me you can't do it. I worked a 40-hour-a-week job. I was a sole supporter in my home raising my kid. So don't tell me it can't be done. I had a clean house. My kid was bad as hell. He had ADD, but he was all over the place. He was always doing something. I wanted to choke him out all the time, all the time. So I feel your pain. I do. This is hard work, but it can be done. If my mother could raise 8 children or 7 kids, basically by herself and have a clean house, none of us were ever on drugs. We were good kids, but we had respect for our parents. Our kids weren't, my brothers and sisters knew better. They knew there were repercussions for their actions. And just because your kid has a disability does not mean that your kid gets to do whatever they want. No. I just had a parent tell me last year, I told the parent, I had a couple of parents last year. I told them, go get your kid a job. Take your kid to the local place, the local grocery store, and go fill out the application. I even called. I called to check it out, to find out. I told them the situation. I told them all about the kid. And I didn't give them the name, but I told them all about the kid. And they said, okay, come down. You got to do the same thing everybody else does, because just because you have a kid with a disability doesn't mean you're special like that. The goal is to have your kid to be as independent as he possibly can. Okay? That's what the goal is. So when you stand in that way between me and that kid, and your response is, she doesn't want to do that, and then a year later come back and tell me, well, kids are making fun of her because she doesn't have a job. Why doesn't she have a job? I don't understand. There's no reason for this. You allowed her to come up with that answer because here's going to be the problem. When the kid ages out of school, what is she doing all day long? What is she going to do? That's not my problem to fix. I am supposed to help you take it as far as I can take it. But at some point in time, I have to release the reins. And you guys have to do stuff. I'm sorry. Yes, I agree. You were dealt a bad hand. But here's the thing. Had I not had a kid with a disability, I would have never known about any of this. Has anybody ever heard of the poem, the Holland poem? If I would have never done this, I would have never met any of you. There's blessings in everything. But we have to recognize what our roles and responsibilities are to our kids. Just bitching and complaining and picking up Tammy. No, you can't always call me for every little thing. You have to actually sit down, figure it out, and then call me and say, this is what I got. If you're my client. This is what you have to do with all advocates. And another thing, when you guys are looking for an advocate, could you possibly just look them up on the online? If they're good advocates, they're all over the Google. Like me, I'm everywhere. If they're good advocates, they're out there. And you can find out about them, good, bad, and indifferent. You can find them. Google their names. Then you have to figure out what that advocate knows about your kid, about special education. Okay? You got to know that the person that you got for an advocate, do not accept the person or anybody at the school. Okay, I'll tell you what. So I'm working with a school district in Massachusetts. This kid hasn't had a certified teacher or any of related service providers for 2 solid years. 2 years. We're in a hearing. 2 years. I pushed them into a hearing. The wombats at the school decide they can give him, because he's homeschooled. The school district approved for the general education home program. Told the parent they would unenroll him if the parent put him in special ed at the school. Who does that? If the parent wanted a kid homeschooled and the kid was on an IEP, chances are it would be a safe bet that that kid would also be homeschooled for the IEP. What the hell? We're in the 21st century, people. It's the 21st century. You can get telehealth left, right, and center now. All of the evaluations are made available to do online now. It's called Q Global. You can do an OT, a PT, a speech and language eval. You can do a WISC-5. You can do the Wyatt, the WEX. You can do all of the assessments, the Wyatt, every single test, the Vineland, the AFLs, the ABLES-R. All of these assessments can be done online because we live in the 21st century. Go figure. You know what? They're afraid of being replaced by machines, AI, artificial intelligence. It would be better than the real intelligence every day. None of these people make any sense to me. I don't understand what the hell's going on. I don't understand. But what I'm telling you guys to do is you have to do your due diligence too. You can't be a part of the problem, because when you're a part of the problem, you can get shit. Just that simple. Get done. Stop standing in the way. Pick up the phone, make the phone calls, do the heavy lifting. Because here's the thing. Everybody's not like me. Right? Everybody's not like me. You're not going to get free stuff. Okay? They're going to charge you for everything they do. And let me tell you something. I do a lot that I don't charge for. That's why I can't do this. You see, there's a difference between me and other advocates. I don't need this money. I'm fine now. I'm not independently wealthy or anything, but I make enough to survive, and I got everything that I need, I got. So any extra money that comes in is passive income for me. Therefore, I can do whatever I want. Wendy says, what if the FBA is not working? Eloping it. That means that the FBA is forced to put to it. That means you need to go on my website and go get this thing, because if they need to modify it, put it in writing and say, this is what you do, Wendy. Every time they send you an email, so you're saying he's eloping, he's tearing papers for 1 hour. Obviously, you got that information from somebody. Did you get that from the school? Did you get that information? If you got that from the school, this is what I want you to do. Every time they send you information about his behaviors via email, you take that email, okay? Take the email, and you make it a document and you save it to your computer. Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to save an email document to your computer? Do you know how to do that? I can show you right now. It's real easy. Okay? When you get for 1 week, how many of them do you get a week? How many of those do you get a week? This is called collecting data. Okay? This is your job to collect the data too. We don't leave everything. Yes, you told me. Good. Okay. So then save it all. How many of them do you get a week? Whoever wants to ask me any questions about their personal case, please, by all means, ask me the questions. I can help you. I can give you the answers. 99% of the time, I can give you the answer right now. I can tell you exactly what to do, where to go to get the information. I can show you where it's written. I can do it all. Okay, so what I need to know, Wendy, is how many times per week on average do you get information from the wombats that he's doing that? Just got one January to June. Good. Okay, so now what you do is this. Hi, Jen. I'm sorry. Hi, Jen. This is what you do then, okay? You take all of those emails, you send it to the school district with an email that says, I need the BCB. Does he have a BCBA? If he has a BCBA, you send the email, guys, always send anything you want done for special education, including behavior, to the special ed director. Okay? So what you do is, yes. I forgot the question. You just answered it. Okay. So what you do is you take all of that stuff, you put it in an email, and you create an email thread. You tell them he has a BCBA. You send it to the BCBA and you send it to the SPED director, and you tell them, given the attached behaviors, it appears that we need to modify the behavior plan because it's not working. I want a team meeting, and you tell them, I want all of the data that you're collecting. So you got all of the data already. So you tell them, based on this, the IEP, the FBA needs to be modified immediately. Chop, chop. Okay? That's how you get them. Put that in writing right now, because chances are they're not going to do anything during the summer because they're sickening. God forbid anybody should work during the summer. Only us. That's what we do. Only us. There's district policy about grade retention. However, I can't find any. There's no such thing. They told me the same thing about my kids. You know what I did? I went right to the school superintendent. I said, you got 2 seconds to retain my kid. He's got decent F's on his damn report card. What they're suggesting and what they told me is called a social promotion. You tell them to stick it up their butt if your kid has an IEP. Okay? If your kid has an IEP, so they are contending district policy about it. There's no such thing. Okay? There's no such thing as district policy. State law, federal law provides. I think I answered this earlier, but are you the one that asked me the question on my YouTube channel? I can't even remember. I just answered you and didn't even look. But anyway, district policy, guys. Every time when the school district says they have district policy, tell them to say, okay, good. So I wrote all of that stuff in there, but I'll say it again. Here's what you do. First of all, you always, they say district policy, you tell them to send it to you because you can't find it. Why does the district have a policy that's a secret? Just saying. I hate people. If they can't produce it, it doesn't exist, number one. Number two, if they don't retain your kid and you have information that you can prove, red flag, that's right, that you can prove from other sources that are giving your kid the same services outside of school, guess what that means? Your kid's not learning poo-poo caca. And that means if they move your kid to the next grade, even though everybody's saying don't do it, all of those people that are saying don't do it don't have an agenda. Guess what the school district has? An agenda. You know what the agenda is? To push your kid through the system. That's what their agenda is. You tell them, first of all, if you're in Massachusetts, you can keep your kid in the same program. Your kid can't be more than 48 months older than the kids are already in there. Chances are she's not, or he's not. As long as your kid is within that 48 months from the youngest kid, you're good. Okay? You're good. Or the oldest kid, I can't remember what it is. But I can find that for you if you want me to. Okay? You got to give me a minute because I got to go look it up. Because that happened to me quite a bit. Massachusetts is infamous for pushing these kids through the system. So here's the thing. 1, your kid didn't make any gains, and people are requesting that other people outside of the school can prove that your kid, they have proof that your kid, based on the work that they've been doing with her outside of school, without having an agenda, only that they want to help your kid. They're recommending that your kid remain in the program that she's in for another year. For them to move her forward would be a violation of least restrictive environment, because the new environment, the new grade, kindergarten, would be too much to handle. I thought I saw somebody in my house. Would be too much to handle for your kid to go into that program. So that's what you have to tell them. You say you're violating least restrictive. A lot of them stupid idiots at the school think least restrictive means it doesn't mean that you can't push them to the next grade. That's not restrictive. Restrictive only means keeping your kid in a segregated classroom. That's not what least restrictive means. To take a kid, for instance, you have a kid with a 40 IQ. Let's just say hypothetically, you have a kid with a 40 IQ. Okay? That kid can't function in a general ed classroom. That kid can't do any work in the general ed classroom. So therefore, putting that kid with a 40 IQ that's intellectually challenged in a general ed classroom to attempt to give him general ed work would be a violation of least restrictive environment. You see what I'm saying? So to take your kid and put her in a program, that would be a violation. Now, in addition to that, it would also be a denial of faith because your kid can't access the general curriculum now, never mind, put her in kindergarten. Because if your kid has all of these issues that the doctors are saying and the providers are saying she has, then that means your kid's not, and they've been giving the same amount of services, or they've been giving services in the same, she's been giving double services for the same issues, then that means that their IEP is not reasonably calculated because it should have included a whole hell of a lot more than the services she got. That's number one. And this is what you tell the Wombat, Deb Ecker. You tell Deb Ecker she's an airhead for me. Tell her Tammy said, you're an idiot. Tell her I don't care. I don't like her. I don't know why. She's a SPED director. I don't know how she became a SPED director. Did you know in February of 2022, that's not funny. The school district won a case against again, what was it? It was Methuen. I can't remember. Deb Ecker was the special ed director. Do you know they won the case? But do you know that the hearing officer ordered Deb Ecker to go get trained in IDEA, IEP meetings, team meeting process, and IDEA in general? They actually ordered it. She never took it, of course, because she's an airhead. I saw a picture of her. I saw her on the community thing. Your school superintendent's a hot mess too. This is what he was doing. He's talking. He's talking to everybody at the school committee. He's moving all over the place. That is one hyper dude. He couldn't even keep it. He's cracking jokes, moving away from the thing. It's a hot mess. Oh, and then he said, everybody wants to run to Westfield Public. No, they don't. Nobody wants to go there. They don't have a good program. They don't have any program for anybody. Stupid idiot. Anyway, yes, I can't stand them. So yeah, so you can get them on denial of faith if they move her. You can get them on violating least restrictive environment if they move her. And you can get them on the fact right now that the IEP that they developed was not reasonably calculated because she's getting additional services outside of the school, and it was and the people that were giving her those services, they knew. That means your kid needed more services. Otherwise, the outside providers would have said she doesn't need any services. Doctors, they don't do that kind of stuff. Schools do. Schools do that. Oh, your kid doesn't need anything. And then you take your kid to an outside provider, your kid needs everything. And then they say, oh, we can't listen to the doctors because the doctors are on the parent side. There's something wrong with them. There's seriously something wrong with them. And I haven't figured out what it is. But for one day, for 1 hour, only an hour, I'd like to jump in their bodies and see what the hell's going on in their brain when they're telling a parent not to give their kid any of the services that the kid needs, knowing full well these are educated people. They went to school. They got degrees and stuff. It's not like, they don't know how to read and comprehend. They can read the reports. Somebody told me, oh, the school district wanted all of my kids' medical records. What for? You can't read what you write. You can't read and comprehend what you're writing, but you want the doctor. You're not getting it. Bite me. You know what to do? You tell whenever a school district tells you they want all of your kid medicals records, you tell them, sure. As soon as you get a court order, tell your lawyer to go get a court order. You're not violating my client's rights. Bite me. We have a mediation meeting scheduled for the 7th, so trying to be as prepared as I can. First of all, you do know that mediation is voluntary, correct? And the only reason why they want to do mediation is because they know they've screwed up. I was going to say another word, but you know what they did, okay? So when you go to a mediation, what happens is they're going to give you this much, and you're going to be all happy, and you're going to put your John Hancock on that paper, and you got to read that paper really, really good, okay? Because that paper is going to say that you are releasing them. It's a hold harmless. It's called a hold harmless. That you're releasing them of anything that you may think of later that they may have, that you're going to allege they did from the day you sign it back 2 years or forever. You're just going to release them of all of that. That's why I tell parents, if you're going to go to mediation, first of all, make sure that you have on a piece of paper exactly what you want. When I say exactly what you want, let's say you need OT for your kid, okay? This is what it says. It says that you need OT 3 times 30 a week. You need 3 times 30 a week, not within a cycle, none of that stupidness. Monday to Friday, 3 times a week. I don't care nothing about their cycle. Don't care. You tell me you want it 3 times a week by a certified OT, okay? You want the school district to provide you with their credentials. This is all goes in the mediation. Then you tell them what you want that OT to work on. Yeah. So you go to the doctors. It's on the 7th. You go to every single doctor that you're going for mediation for. You go to every single one of those doctors that has been giving you the same services. You tell them to write up exactly what your kid needs. In school, how many else? Because she's already getting some. You tell them she's already getting some. So you tell them to write up how many minutes, how many times a week, and what they have to do, and how they measure it. It needs to be measured. How are they going to measure that your kid is making progress? So just like what the IEP says, you got to put in the IEP goal, the IEP objectives, and then on the bottom, you got to put, how is it going to be measured? You're going to collect data. I want copies of the data. You want all the data. And if they say no to any of that, then you tell them, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So, could also invoke the stay put. Nope. Okay, the stay put law only comes into play when you're in a hearing, okay? Now, but there's another way to do that. So, but you got to be careful because some law firms like MHTL, you guys from Massachusetts know who I'm talking about. That law firm, in my experience, when my parents have rejected IEPs, what they do is they file for hearing under the pretense that if the school district can't implement this IEP because the parent rejected it, that it's a denial of faith. And so they have a hearing. And of course, the hearing officer is going to say, oh, yeah, I think they did. So keep that in mind, okay? Because you got a good case, okay? Because you have all of these outside providers that don't, like I told you, don't have an agenda. So you have a lot of this, all right? So what you do is, if you reject the IEP and you're not in a hearing, if you reject the IEP, okay, and they take you to hearing, the last IEP that was in place remains in place until you have until you have exhausted all of the remedies available to you, which is all the way to federal court. Okay. Hi, Di. Or in Utah, no. I've done that before. Diane, stop telling people that. It's not nice, but I've done that before. And I haven't forgot about you. I have not. I know you think I did, but I didn't. In 2 minutes, I'm going to send you all your money back because I don't care. I love you too, honey. I see you on TikTok all the time. You need to sing more. I like it when you sing. This woman has the prettiest voice. Her name is Diane. She has the prettiest voice, guys. She's on TikTok. You guys should check her out. Maybe you should check her out if she sings more. But anyway, and I saw all the pictures of your girl. She's adorable. So anyway, mediation is funny, guys. If you can do me now, here's the cool thing about mediation, just so you know. In the event the wombats step out of pocket regarding the mediation, like they don't implement it, instead of going to the Department of Education, because that's what they're going to say, you say, I don't have to do that. I'm skipping. This is a legal binding contract. That's what you tell them. You do understand that this is a legal binding contract. I am not playing with you people. I will skip my happy ass right over to the nearest courthouse and get a judge to issue an enforcement order. Make no mistake, and then I'll go public. So just so you guys know, when you do a mediation, okay? Now in Massachusetts, it's funny. A lot of people say, well, team resolution. Massachusetts, team resolutions are not binding. They're not binding at all, okay? There's no contract, there's no written document, there's no nothing. So as soon as you get up from the table, if everybody agreed on some shit, as soon as you get up from the table, the school district doesn't have to do doodly squat. Okay. So usually when I have to do team resolution and the only time you do a team resolution meeting is when you're in a hearing. It's mandated under IDEA to do a team resolution meeting. But if both parties waive it, it's okay. So what I do is the parents say, well, I want to go. Okay, good. Let's go. 10 minutes. We're in and out. They're like, what? I'm not negotiating nothing. This is what you want, right? Yes. And this is what they're offering. Do you understand? Yes. They're going to offer us the same thing. And our counter is, I want this. Meeting over. We're at a standstill. Meeting over. Now, here's another thing, Crystal. If you go to mediation, or if you're in a hearing, and part of the hearing is you go to mediation. That's right. That's why you got to have all of your stuff written down. So you can go right through it. And they're going to say, what do you have? And none of your business, you tell them. This is what I want. I came here with this, what you got. And by the way, their lawyer can't come. Mediation? No, it's team resolution. The lawyer can't come. But if they're going to bring their lawyer, then you got to bring somebody with you because they're going to try to mess with you. But you got to stick to your guns and you got to tell them, this is what I want. Take it or leave it. This is what I want. This is why I want it. This is what I can prove. What you got? What you got? Because if you move my daughter to this program, I'm going to get you for violating least restrictive environment, and I can prove it. Because least restrictive environment doesn't mean you just move it to the next grade because you can. That's not what least restrictive means. Least restrictive means that this is not going to prevent her from accessing the general curriculum. The doctors already said she can't. She needs to stay here one more year. She won't be able to access the general curriculum because she doesn't have the necessary skills. You know why, school district? Because you guys didn't do your job, as usual. Deb Ecker. I hate her. Good, don't negotiate. All you guys have to remember is a mediation agreement signed by both parties and dated is a legal binding contract. The more you put it together, the tighter it is, the better chance you have if they fail to implement it. And they're stupid. That's what an IEP is. It's a legal binding contract really between you and the school district. And the back page of an IEP in Massachusetts, it has a signature page, both for the parent and the special ed director. And it says that when the special ed director signs it, right underneath that signature line, it says that the school district, there through her, is giving assurances that whatever's in that IEP is going to be implemented. And that's another thing, Crystal. You tell them you want all of this in an IEP. All of it. You want this mediation agreement that's accepted attached to the IEP. You want an amendment to the IEP. You want the amendment page to include it. But how did you know that? Is your advocate a POA? It is sad. I miss Massachusetts. You should move back home. Told you I hate Utah. They're cray-cray in that state. I mean, there's some serious shenanigans going on with little kids. They talk about God a lot, but they're little devils. Devils. Church of Latter-day Saints. No, oh God. No. Not all Massachusetts districts are good. None of them are good. When I say they're good, it's because I got what I wanted for my kid, but the parent had to hire me to be an advocate to fight for them to get the kid. There's always a fight in Massachusetts. I just told OSEP that. It's a damn shame. Parents with kids with disabilities have to go through all kind of nonsense just to get an education for their kid. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, the typical kids' parents just put their kids on a bus, send them to school, their little happy backpacks, and go to school to get an education, everything good. Meanwhile, parents with kids with disabilities, we got to have team meetings. We got to have quarterly progress reports about IEPs. We got to develop an IEP. People don't do their job. They violate the laws. Then we got to file against them. I mean, there's just so much. I told OSEP what they need to do is give all parents the opportunity to apply for the same grant the school district does. Instead of sending Massachusetts $643 million, divvy it up to all the parents that apply for the grant. Put it out there. Parents can apply for the grant for IDEA. Based on your kid, that's what they should do in every single state. Now it's up to you guys to go find the people to get your kid the education they need. When you have the money, you can do a lot of shit. Just saying. You can do a lot. Cut the school day in half. Yeah. Diane moved from Massachusetts to Utah. Her kid was on an IEP in a full day education program in Massachusetts. These numbnuts in Utah put this kid in a half-a-day program. We told them don't do it. They kept in Quincy, no less, because Quincy is not as notorious for violating regs. But they put her in a full-day program in Quincy, Mass. She moves to Utah. These idiots in Utah, the principal, the sped director, all of those idiots, put this kid on a half-a-day program. We kept sending them letters, telling them in the emails what I was doing was building my case because they're stupid. We built the case. Finally, we got all of their crap from them saying why they could do this and that's not true. And because I hate them. And they lost. The state came back and said, put the kid on a full day program, you owe compensatory services. Wombats. Then they decided they were going to torture the parent all year. So now I have to file a complaint for retaliation. The state has advised to file the civil. Okay. I got to do that. I got to do it because we only have 180 days. That's a school year. So, you know. So when did you get that letter, by the way? I want the date, the letter you got. Yeah, I know. She's not. They decided that she has to do this. And meanwhile, all the other parents can come and go as they please. They just pull in. They do this. They got a Barbie doll over there as the principal. That's the other thing. Yes, thank you. Email it to me because I'm going to use that to file the civil rights complaint. Probably going to call you next week, okay? So we'll get it all done because I can't stand it. But anyway, just trying to look and see. Crystal, you are good. You're just making waves. That's right. That's all you're doing, girl. What you guys have to understand is when you, they don't like it. Okay. First of all, grow a thick skin because they're not going to like you. Nobody cares. But when you're coming at people, okay, you have to make sure you know what the hell you're talking about. And when you're a newbie, you got to go look up the laws. 9 times out of 10, you are 100% on the money, people. You know exactly what you're talking about. The issue is, one, they're pretending you don't know when they know better, okay? So even when I have sent emails with all of the violations in them. For instance, there's this idiot, BCBA, who sent the mother a letter and told her she can't have the data collection sheets that they're using to develop the behavior support plan for the kid. I sent him an email and I told him, according to the Code of Ethics from the Behavior Analyst Certification Board, then I cited the ethics code. And it says, upon request from the parent or the individual you're providing the service to, you must provide them with all of the records immediately. He said he called somebody from the Department of Education, DESE, and he spoke to legal and somebody else. I don't know. The man, and he talked to the BACB. That's what he told me. He thinks that means something to me. One, that's exactly what he said. He talked to DESE, he talked to legal, and he talked to the BACB. You know what he didn't give me? Any names. You know why? He's lying. I sent him the code. The only way you can do ABA and have the parent involved is to have the data collection sheets and give the data sheets to the parent. You have to give it to them so that they understand what the hell's going on. Well, we give her a summary. Stick the summary up your butt. I can read. What if you're lying about the summary? I'm supposed to trust you? I should trust you? Really? The person that they had providing the ABA services for this particular kid in Massachusetts used to work at Starbucks. She wasn't even trained. I observed her. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. She doesn't know what she's doing. She doesn't understand it. She doesn't know anything. She wouldn't let the kid open up a potato chip bag. She helped her play with Barbies. That's what they did. They played with Barbies and they watched her do YouTube. She's collecting data. No matter what the kid did, no matter what the answer was, every time the kid gave her an answer, it was almost as if the goal was for the kid to give her an answer. That was the target behavior. Because no matter what the kid did, her reward, she got the YouTube tablet. She got the tablet so she could watch YouTube. That's what they do. That's what they call data collection. And I told the parent, the reason why that Wombat's not giving you the data collection sheets is because they don't have any. I'm telling you, or the data collection sheets are all wrong. All of them. He has to prove the data, ABA, people, is based on data. It's data driven. Without the data, you can't do anything. And here's another thing. You can't modify a behavior support plan without the consent of the parent. And I don't care if you work for Jesus Christ. I don't care. Or the devil himself. You have to get the parent's consent to change the behavior support plan. A BCBA knows this. BCBAs went to the same kind of program I went through. And the code of ethics is clear. And that's another thing, you guys. I tell you guys this all the time. You got to know the damn players who's sitting at the team meeting. You got to know the players. You got to know what their job function is. You got to know how they do their job and who licenses them. Every single one of them. Because you know why? Let's say you're going to a team meeting and some stupid speech and language pathologist decides she's not going to teach your kid how to read, or she's not going to teach your kid how to write, because in her mind she doesn't need it because they can type. She decided this, not to write. An OT I'm talking about, okay? The OT doesn't get to do that. A specialist, a provider doesn't get to change how they deliver services. They have to deliver services a certain way. And here's the thing, people. Every one of those people, the providers, they're certified. They're either certified by the State Department of Education or they're certified by the state to go work anywhere. Anybody that's providing your kid with a service has to be licensed or certified by the state. Period. Look them up. Look them up. Oh, yes. And records is all records. School districts hiding crap and refuse. That's right. The cool thing, here's the thing, guys. The cool thing about IDEA, it's a law. So in the law, we have regulations. We have regulations. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We have regulations, right? So that means there's a paper trail for everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. Okay? So let me show you. You see all of this crap right here? There's a paper trail for this. It's not just this. See, state eligibility. Let's look that up. State eligibility. So, a state is eligible for under Part B for a fiscal year if the state submits a plan. Paper. They have to submit the application. The application consists of how they're going to spend millions of dollars. What the money's going to go for. Okay? And has in effect policies and procedures. And that to ensure that the state meets the conditions under 101 and 1 through 176. And PADAL, there's 101. Free and appropriate education. The state must ensure that the obligation to make FAPE available to each is residing in the state no later than the third birthday. They got to have paperwork to prove it. Okay. And IEP is in effect in accordance with 323. Guess what? An IEP, again, paper. It's all paper. Paper. Limitation to the exception of FAPE. Paper. Every single law under IDEA is a paper trail waiting to happen. Now the reason why I bring that up is because of this. Okay. So when a piece of paper is missing from those laws I just showed you, that means they didn't do it. That's a violation. If they can't prove they did it through the paper, that's a violation. Let me show you what else I learned, okay? So I have a theory, and I just proved it. I just presented it to OSAP. So, you know how we file complaints, and sometimes, the state comes back with some shenanigans, and they don't find anything wrong with what the school district did. They don't find nothing wrong. And like, okay, for instance, in one of the schools, we filed a complaint. Okay, we filed a complaint, and we said that that Starbucks person, the paraprofessional, is not licensed or certified. The school district sent the state. I got to do it like this because this is too good. The school district sent the state to prove that it was okay for them to do that. A document. Oh, we wanted her to go to a team meeting. That's what it was. They sent the state a document of an outdated contract, union contract, okay, that was designed just for COVID, for this amount of time. And the state accepted it. State accepted it. That's a violation. Because even OSEP came back and told the mother, oh, no. Nobody cares nothing about. You cannot write. Nobody can write a contract in this area, okay, and say, our regulations override the federal contract. Because when they're hired to do anything for special needs kids, whether it's an outside contractor or the person that's coming into the school to work with your kid, they agree to implement IDEA, period. And they agree to meet the state and federal criteria regarding licensure or certification. That's what the law says, 300.156. So therefore, when they do that kind of stuff, they're in danger of losing their money. Okay, so what I did is this is what I did. I think I showed you guys this last week. This was so friggin' fascinating to me. I almost lost my mind. I never even looked at it. And I was so mad at myself for not looking at it. Okay, so part C, we'll do that. So now I'm going to share again. I wonder if this is how I do it. No, it's not letting me do it. Okay, so now I got to stop, and then I got to do it again. Screen share. Okay, guys. So here's my theory. Okay, you see this right here? Let me make it bigger. Okay, just hear me out, guys. So the way we go after them usually when the school district does something that violates the regulations, we file it. We have two ways out. We can file a complaint, state complaint, or we can go to hearing. The most cost-effective way is to file a complaint. Okay. So then it comes back and you lose the state complaint. Or you even win, but then the state doesn't they issue corrective action, but then they don't do any follow-up. They just let it sit there like a rock, like a giant fart or something, just sitting there, smelling up the room. Okay, excuse my analogy, but that's how I roll. So anyway, they don't do anything. So here's my theory. What if, instead of us filing against the school district, which means we got to deal with the school district, we got to deal with their attorneys, we got to do a lot of stuff we don't want to do. We got to talk about mediation, all kind of crazy stuff, right? What if we just go straight for the jugular and file against the state for not doing their job of making sure that the school district did their job? Because you see all these laws over here? Conditions of assistance. This is all about the money. An LEA is eligible for assistance under Part B of the Act for a fiscal year if the agency submits a plan that provides assurances to the SEA that the LEA met that, yada, yada. My goal is to go to the SEA and allege they didn't, the SEA didn't implement 300.200 in making sure that the LEA met the conditions of 300.201 through 300.213. Okay? What if we just do that? I don't see it. I like that better. Because you know what we do? We eliminate, like I said, we eliminate the whole nonsense of going to the school district, arguing with those wombats, putting it all together, only to find out that the state and the school district are in cahoots. And you lose anyway. So you lost 60 days of time with your kid, and still you lost. So Now, here's the other part. Okay, so you have conditions, consistency with state policies. So let's look at this one. The LEA, in providing for the education of children with disability within its jurisdiction, must have in effect policies, procedures, and programs that are consistent with state policies and procedures under 300.01, 163. We can get them on all of this. We can get the state by saying the state didn't ensure that the school district did this, and this is how they did it. So you're going to use your complaint. You're going to use the violations against the district to prove that the state didn't do their job. You see what I'm saying? It's a phenomenal idea. Now, here's the cool. Now, the subpart C is a wonderful place to live. Okay? So, use of amounts. Let's talk about the money. Amounts provided to LEA and department must be expended in accordance with applicable provisions of this part. Okay? Must be used only to pay the excess costs, providing special education, must be used to supplement. We could say they didn't do any of this. Now, let me tell you why this is a wonderful thing. Along with filing against the state for not doing their job in protecting your kid and making sure that the school district did their job, because that's the state's job. The state gave the school district money, thousands upon thousands of dollars, to implement IDEA, provide special education to your kid so that your kid can get an education like the typical kids. When your kid is denied services like, the kid in Utah, where the state comes in and says, we're only going to put the kid on a half-day program. Had I known about this law and paid attention, I would have filed against the state and told them, bite me. You're not doing your job. These wombats are doing this. Look at the emails. You guys were supposed to do it. You know what they're going to come back and say? We didn't know, but here's a little extra. When we file against the state for not doing their job to ensure that the school district did their job, we also send it to the Department of Justice, because we're talking about millions of dollars. We're talking about misconduct. We're talking about violations of IDEA. We're talking about fraud. Because where did they spend the money? They didn't spend it on your kid. They put your kid on an IEP. That IEP is filled with money. So when your kid didn't get the services that they alleged that they assured you they were going to give you, where's the money? They wrote an IEP that was poo-poo caca. But they got all kind of services in there for your kid. Do you know now I think it costs up to $15,000 a year to educate a kid with special needs? I think it's $15,000 a year for a public school to do this. Okay, it might be more. Maybe I'm wrong. I got to go look it up again. But if that's the case, that's the amount I'm going to cite in the next complaint. Whatever that amount is for that state, that's what I'm going to accuse the state of allowing the school district to commit fraud. My client didn't get no money, didn't get no services. But now we're going to get the Department of Justice involved. So they're going to do an investigation. So you know how the state will say they'll come back and they won't investigate everything, or they do an end run around the laws, or they do something shenanigans and then it's over. Just done. Now you got to go to hearing because it's just done because they didn't do shit. Here's the thing. Let's say the state does that again. The difference between the state and the feds doing an investigation on the feds do an investigation on the state. Understand? They do an investigation on the state. They don't do an investigation on the school district. When we file the complaint against the state, we send it to the Department of Justice and we send it to the U.S. Department of Education, Office of Inspector General, and anybody else. The Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services, that's OSERS. We send it to OSEP. We send it to all the federal agencies we can. Okay? Now, when the school district is all done, when the state's all done with theirs, guess what? The feds are still going. Feds are still going. Now, the state could come back. The state could come back and say, oh, no, we didn't do anything. Oh, that's bullshit. I still got an investigation over here. You better pray they don't come up with the same answer you did. You better pray they come up with the same answer you did. You better pray. And I'm very meticulous about what I write. I'm about to do that right now. God forbid you want to pick your kid up from school. I'm excited for this next school year, Tammy. No more bringing cops with me. I'm just going to get my kids. Go get your kid. Go get your kid. Put YouTube it. Videotape it. What are they going to say? Don't do it. Videotape it. Put it on YouTube. Send it to me. I'll put it on YouTube. Them harassing you. They won't know you're videotaping. What are you talking about? This is a public school. You're outside. It's public. Go look in the laws and see what it says. That's what you do. So that's my new thing, guys. Rather than filing these stupid complaints against the school district where the state comes back and always finds in favor of them. And even if they do some stupid, like one of my clients, they did the math right for the compensatory service for OT, PT, speech and language, APE, and there was something else. When it came to the academics, instead of giving the kid 315 hours of compensatory services for academics, they gave him 54. The same math concept that they use for the OT, the PT, the speech and language, which all came out right, same exact hours, right? They used a different mathematical conclusion. I don't know what the hell they did. Right now, I can't figure it out what the hell they did. And they can't either. So then I filed a complaint and I joined the state in it. And in Massachusetts has this wonderful little law. They don't have to do, you can't bring the state agency into a hearing. You have to go to court. That's a violation of due process under the idea. Right now, OSEP's looking into that law to see if it's consistent with the idea. I'm waiting. I can't wait because I just told them. Here's the thing. Then why bother filing all of this stuff? We could just file a complaint we just file with due process against the state and drag them into court. Why do we have to go through all this nonsense with the due process? I've exhausted everything. I've exhausted it because all you have to do, this is what you have to do in Massachusetts, guys. You file a complaint you file a complaint against the state for not doing their job in ensuring that the school district implemented the law. The state will come back and say, we can't have a hearing on them, so you got to go over here. You got to go to court. Okay, I got 4 cases they dismissed. 4. Because I can't take them to hearing. Because either I can't take them to hearing. One of them was I couldn't take Reese Ehrlichman to hearing because everybody works for her at the BSEA. But that's horse manure. The agency is a public agency. So that means they can step all kind of agencies in Massachusetts to provide public agencies that have hearings, that have hearing officers they could use. But they didn't want to. But see, I got something for them too. I'm telling you, this year it's going down. I might not be advocating the way parents want me to advocate for them, but my goal is to make humongous changes straight across the United States because every state is doing this nonsense. I mean, every single state is doing this to you guys. None of you are safe. Massachusetts, Utah, California, Arizona, Illinois, nobody's safe. Nobody. The best way to do it is to go after their money. I want their money. I want it all. If my kids can't have the services, they can't have the money. If they don't want to do their job, that's fine. You're not getting the money. And I don't care if I take the money. I don't care. Do your job. I'm going to force OSEP to do their job. I'm going to force OSEP to do it too. I don't care. Hey. Have you guys seen this thing on Facebook? I'm not sponsored. I have to say that. But I saw this on Facebook, right? I was like, what? So look, it comes with this little cartridge, right? See that? So the cartridge is filled with stuff. So you fill your thing up with water. Okay, I know I just digressed real quick. You fill your thing up with water. But then this has a dial. I can't show you. It has a dial on it. And you turn it, and you can either drink all water or you can get a flavor. Like this one is peach tea. So I got peach tea. So if I have it at a 2 because I really don't want the real sweetness. So the higher you go, the sweeter it gets. Okay. And it's not really sweet. It's made with, fake sugar and all of that stuff. So you have one, Crystal? It's my new best friend. I got you can buy them online, right? But I looked it up on Walmart. Walmart had it. So I got the 22 ounce, right? The 22 ounce, and it comes with a package. It was $30, but I get 2 cartridges, and each cartridge lasts. You can use this. You can fill this thing 6 times with this one thing. Mine lasts even longer because I don't like putting a lot of sweetness in it. But this is the coolest thing since sliced bread. I friggin' love it. Mine is tin. They have the regular kind, the water bottles. Oh yeah, you go to Walmart, they're $30. You get the whole package and everything. And see, what you do is this whole thing comes off, but when you first get it, it's in 2 pieces. This comes off like that. But then when you buy the cartridges are $3.74. When you buy the cartridges, all you get is this piece. And then you just put it on. It's so cool. I drink it all day long now because I just like it. So it comes with 2 cartridges when you buy the package. It is what they're saying on Facebook about this. They're right. They're telling the truth. I freaking love it. I freaking love it. It's my favorite thing. Oh yeah. I haven't used it yet. Oh girl. Go, and they have different kind. Like they have some that gives you a boost. They have plain ones that don't do shit. Then they have some that are hydrate. They hydrate you. There's another one for life something. There's another one that gives you that extra kick for caffeine. It's got caffeine in it. So yeah, oh yeah, they have all different kinds. Fit something, life fit, something like that. I don't know what it is, but I like mine. I don't like nothing. Okay. So yeah, you get them and they're delicious. Another question: in New Jersey with compensatory education, if you were forced to agree on hours, can you go after them for what was not made up? Yes. File it again. That's what I got to do. That's what we're doing. That's why we're in a hearing. These idiots were told they have to give this kid all of these hours, right? They had a whole year to do it, and they were supposed to do an evaluation. They didn't do nothing. You know when the kid got a teacher? A couple of weeks ago. The teacher they had was only for 1 month. They didn't get him until November. They were issued the order in August to start in September. It's virtual learning. So I don't understand why they couldn't find a teacher to do this. Virtual learning. You sit in front of a damn computer. I want to know what's so hard about this. You can't find a teacher to do this? Why? Why can't you use one of your teachers that you have in school right now? Because they're stupid. That's why. They're stupid people. Because they love making stuff hard. So now what they did is, so that means they didn't give them the compensatory services that the state said they owed them. And they didn't give them enough hours. And they never implemented the IEP again. This time for a whole year. So from September to June, this kid just got a certified teacher. They were mad because we kept looking everybody up on DESE Lookup, Educator Lookup. Really? That's a violation. Okay. Diane, we got to talk. Can you call me next week? Call me next week. All right? Because yeah. Oh God. I'm telling you, you guys, this is like the best thing. And it's only 22 ounces. I'm like, it's a regular sized water bottle. Yeah, that's what fits in there. Be careful because I fill mine all the way to the top. And then I drop this thing in it. Water goes everywhere. Because I'm stupid. I don't know what to do. Okay. What lookup? Okay. On the Department of Education websites, a lot of states, including Massachusetts now, you can do educator lookup. So that means whoever is licensed, where do you get the state educator? On your Department of Education website. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see if I can find one. Utah. Department of Education certification teacher licensure. Let me see if I can find it. Yep, here it is. Utah has one. What? Where'd it go? There it says, this is Utah. So all you do, Diane, is you just fill this in. So, put it over here. Okay, so we'll just put my name in there. Let's see what happens. Tammy Joya, District LEA. Yeah. You put the name of the school in, and then you put that, and then you do search. No educator pound. Okay, so what'll happen is if you know the name of the teacher, what's the name of that principal? Okay, we'll do it right here. Diane, give me the name of the principal and the name of the school, first and last name, and the name of the district and the school. Wait, let me make it bigger so you can see it. Okay. Lindsay Adams. Oh, yeah, how did I forget? The Barbie doll. And what's the school district? Granite. Granite District. And the school? What's the name of the school? James Moss. What? 8? Okay. Select a school. Okay, so they're all over the place. Is that it? These idiots didn't even put this in alphabetical order. So stupid. We'll do that. There she is. So it'll say her name, Granite, 100% FTE, license level professional. So now we click on details. Let's see what this says. Okay, here are the details. Begin date 7/1/2022. Okay, she's the principal at James E. Moss. License area. University program. Okay, so that's all you have to do, guys. Okay, all I did was type in. I didn't even know this was there. Okay, so all I did was this. Let me show you what I did. So I'm going to show you. Let's see if I can. I always forget how to do this, so I have to keep doing it like this. Okay, so search results. That's not what I want. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys all how to do this for any state. Okay, so where is it? Okay, so the first thing. Okay, so I'm crazy. I'm not at nothing. That's not what I want. Okay, guys. So all I did was this. I typed in the state. I typed in Utah. There it is right there. Oh, you can't see it because it's teeny. Okay, so. Okay, see what I did? This is what I put in my browser. So I did the same thing for Massachusetts. Okay, so you go to your browser. So I typed in Massachusetts Department of Education teacher licensures. Look up. And there it is. See? So then I typed in, I know this one person, Samantha. You see? And then I hit search. And then there's all her stuff. Okay? So when the school district in their infinite wisdom tells you guys, we can't give you that information because it's private. Listen to me very carefully. Nothing in that school is private. Okay? The workers are not private. Every single school teacher, their information is online because, let me tell you why. They work for a public school funded by taxpayer dollars. Guess who's a taxpayer? Us. We have a right to know everything that they're doing. Whether they want to give it to us or not is irrelevant. So what I was doing to the school in Massachusetts was torturing them. So they would give us names of all of these people, and I'd look them up. I'm like, what the hell? That's not a certified teacher. Certified where? She said, She's a certified teacher. I said, not in Massachusetts, she's not. Where is she certified? Because it's not here. She has to be a Massachusetts certified teacher, Wombat. Do you know how many emails I have with this woman telling her that they have to be certified teachers? Then one time she pissed me off so bad, it was her, this woman right here. She was talking all kind of shit. So I did this lookup. So I typed in the woman's name that she gave us. I typed in her name. And then I typed in another name. I printed these off. I went up here and I did like that. I did print. Okay. See how it comes? Oh, you didn't see it. Okay, wait, let me show you. I did it again. I keep doing that. So this is what I did. What is that? Okay. So what I did is, okay, so after I got this crazy woman's information, like I said, I did 3. One with, one without in hers, because she made me mad. So I went over here. How come this isn't showing? I don't understand. So I right-clicked on my clicker, and it came up with print. I clicked on print. Why is this not showing? I don't understand. Wait, let me try it. Let's stop. Because this is really cool. Because you could do this with everything. Okay. I don't know why it's not showing. So I did. Why won't it come up? That's weird. Anyway, I turned this page into a document. Okay. And all you have to do is you right click on your mouse and then it'll come up with print. And then it'll say save as a PDF, or it'll say that you want to save it to you want to print it on your printer. Just go up to the top of the box and click on save as a PDF. Okay. Then I sent it to her in an email. And I said, do you understand what I'm talking about now? You see how you have credentials in Massachusetts as a Massachusetts certified teacher? You see how that works? You see, I said, this is what this woman's look like. She's not licensed here, is she? She got mad. So then I sent a motion over to the hearing officer and I said, I want an order from you to issue to these people to tell them to give us certified damn teachers. You know what they did? They just hired a certified teacher in Massachusetts because we're in a hearing, because I don't care. You don't give me what I want. We're in a hearing. You're going to give it to me because I'm going to make this worse for you. Stupid. They're just dumb. That's what they do. So anyway, you can get a hold of the legal department for the policies and testing records. I am loving this new. Yes. So I'm going to go. They can't tell you. The school district can never tell you. We can't give you the records because they're private. Nothing about them is private. Everything about your kid is private. Everything. They can't just willy-nilly hand over your kid's shit to some crazy person. They can't do it. It's illegal. Everything they give you, and unless they work for the school in that building, they need your consent. Okay? They need your consent. But you don't need consent, and they don't need to get consent from the teachers to release their so-called private information. There's nothing about them that's private. They work for a public school. Any public entity, any people that work for a public entity that is funded by taxpayer dollars, you can get everything on. You can get it on them. As a matter of fact, you can find out how much money they're getting paid. Because you know why? It's part of the school district's budget. It's a line item. You ask them for a copy for the budget, the whole budget, including special education and teachers. Yes. You would drink more water, Diane, if you had this. I friggin' love mine. It's my favorite thing ever. Cheers. Anyway, so I'm going to end this right now. I want you guys to come back next week and Thursday. Unless I tell you otherwise, I'm going to be here on Thursday. This is how we're doing it. You guys just have to tell me if there's something special you want to talk about. Let me know ahead of time. If you don't, just bring it up. I don't care if it's, you don't have to say it's about your kid. I'll just say, just ask me the question. And I'm telling you. And here's the other thing. You guys need to go to my thingamajig, my YouTube channel. And if you have questions, put them in the YouTube channel website. That's what you need to do. If you do that, I'll answer the questions. Okay? Somebody told me that one of the viewers from last week put it in there. Khalid, thank you, no problem. Just go in there and just ask me the question. Okay? This is what I'm doing from now on. I can send you guys information. I can post it on my website. I can put it on YouTube. I can put it in Facebook. But you guys got to ask me. If you ask me, I will get it to you. Okay? This is what you have to do. This is the only way I'm giving out, other than the clients that I have right now. This is the way I'm going to do to advocate for you guys. I'm going to do stuff on the QT where nobody sees it coming, and that we're just going to make changes. Okay? So that's what we're doing this year. That's what we're doing. I'm going to try it for this year and see what happens. But I'm going to train you guys how to do it. I'm going to see if I can put together some programs. One of my goals is to write a book, a workbook on how to put together a plan, how to file a complaint. It's going to have pages in it. I got to try to figure out how I'm going to put it together, but it's going to be a paperback. It's going to be a workbook, and I'm going to sell them. Okay? Is that what you guys want? I'm going to try to do that. I'm not going to be able to cover. It's not going to be all inclusive, but it's going to give you the basics. Okay? It's going to give you the basics to go to a team meeting. It's going to give you the basics to read evaluations. That's a biggie. How to read evaluations. Okay? Parenting, IEP process, and compliance. Yes. That's what we're going to do. Okay? It's going to be a we'll kick your butt. So, because I know there's nothing out there like this. I'm going to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, just like my videos. Okay? Short, sweet, and to the point. You ask a question, I'm going to put it in there. I'm going to make sure that I cover as many bases as possible. Remember, I can make as many volumes as I want. We have volume 1, 2, 3. We can have a revised one. So if I miss something, it'll be in the next one. Okay? But that's my goal for this summer, to write a book on how to file complaints, because apparently that's what you guys are really into, and you need to know. You need to know about mediations in plain, simple language, so you can prepare to go to team meetings. You can prepare to do a mediation. You can prepare to do a team resolution meeting, okay? And you need to know what goes before, during, and after. What are your rights after you agree to this? What does it really mean? So if you guys want, I can try to put all of that stuff together for you. Hopefully this summer, I'm going to really try. Everything's starting to calm down now, so I'm able to do stuff a little bit better. So we'll figure it out. But yeah, Diane, send me that email so I can check the date on it. And then, because it's ongoing, so it doesn't matter. I'll just file it as of this date, and we'll go back 180 days. And we'll prove that it's all because of this. Okay? That's what the districts force us. That's right, they do. I'm telling you. We got to do what we got to do. As long as we all stick together, you guys spread the word. Let everybody know I'm doing this every week on Facebook and YouTube. Okay? Check you guys later. Thank you for coming. I really like doing this. Thank you, thank you, thank you for having faith in me and coming back. I love you guys all. I'll see you next Thursday, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Bye, Felicia's.